last year when I wanted to book my flight to Nigeria, I did not know that flight was going to be that expensive, and I was seeing like 2k for just direct flights, and it was not even like it was first class or business class, it was ordinary economy ticket. Hello amazing people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Matilda, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you tips on how to travel without breaking the bank. For those of us who like to travel and who like to tick off places from our bucket list, this video is going to be for you, because guys, I started traveling fully last year, and that has been one of the best decisions of my life, because guys, I can't believe how much I actually enjoy traveling, like exploring new places, trying out different food, just getting that whole experience as a whole. It has been an amazing experience, and some of the tips I'm going to be sharing with you on this particular video are the things I have been trying to incorporate into my life as well. I'm not just coming here to tell you guys something that I'm not doing. These are things I'm also doing, because guys, even though we like to travel, for those of us who like to travel and who want to travel, even though we are trying to travel to more places, we are also trying to save money here and there, as well as put money into different things. So if this video is something that will be very useful to you, I know it to be useful to someone else, so make sure to share this video, like, and also drop a comment in the comment section down below, because guys, I love seeing your comments in the comment section, and I'm definitely going to be replying them. And without further ado, let us get right into the video. So the first tip here on my list is for you to have a destination. You can decide to choose this monthly, quarterly, yearly, depending on how you want, and you can decide to choose like different countries or country. And also, when you're choosing these destinations, try and look out for the cities you want to go to. Do you want to go to the capital of that country, or you just want to go to a random city in that particular country? And also, if you're confused on your destination, where to go to, one tip I would like to give is check on TikTok, check on Instagram, and see where people are traveling to. For instance, here in the UK, Morocco is like the hot spot right now. Like this year, every single person is traveling to Morocco. That's what it looks like on social media. I don't want to say I'm tired of seeing the Morocco clips, because I haven't gone to Morocco, so I'm not tired of seeing those places, because when I'm planning my own trip, I need those clips as a form of guide when I'm traveling. But yeah, right now in the UK, Morocco is the hot spot. Like if you don't have Morocco on your travel list, it just looks like you're dulling or you're missing out. So yeah, you can decide to go to Morocco as one of the places you want to see this year, since people are going there, and it looks like a really, really beautiful place for you to go to. So yeah, you can see where people are going to, and then choose like a city or a country. And you can also decide to choose like 2 cities in one country, depending on your budget and depending on the time you have for that particular trip. So yes, I think the first thing for you to do is for you to have a destination. So when you're done deciding on the country of your choice and the city of your choice as well, the next thing for you to do is to go on Google and look out for the best time to travel to that particular country. You have to look at things like weather. For instance, when I traveled to Montenegro the beginning of this year, the reason I went to Montenegro was because I wanted a warmer weather. Like guys, during like January, February in the UK, it's usually very cold. I wanted to give my jacket a break. So I traveled to Montenegro, and the weather was so warm, like it was warmer than that of the UK. So yeah, you have to look at those things, because guys, you really do not want to travel to a country when it's raining and spend most of the times indoors. Well, it depends on the type of person you are. Whenever I travel on vacation, I like to explore the city. Like I do not want to stay indoors, because why am I on vacation if I'm going to be staying indoors? I can stay indoors in my house in the UK. But yeah, if I'm traveling to anywhere, I like to explore the city, be a real tourist. So that's what I like to do. So yeah, I have to check the weather. Is it going to be raining during that period? How hot is it going to be during that period? These things are also very important, so that when you're packing for that particular trip, you know what to take with you, you know what to carry. Should I carry my umbrella? What type of jacket should I take? Do I need to have a jacket and all of that? So I would really say you need to check what is the best time to travel to that particular country. Also, another thing you need to look out for is, are you traveling during the peak period? Like guys, we all know that when you're traveling during the peak period, things are very, very expensive. Like they are so expensive. For instance, when you're traveling to Nigeria, that's in Africa, for those of you who are not Nigerians, when you're traveling to Nigeria during like the Christmas season, it's usually so expensive, because that's when everyone is going back to Nigeria for like 30 December. I'm going to use myself as an example. Last year when I wanted to book my flight to Nigeria, I did not know that flight was going to be that expensive. I started looking at booking my flight in, was it September, August, and I was seeing like 2k for just direct flights, and it was not even like those first class or business class, it was ordinary economy tickets for like £2,000, and it was one way because from the UK to Nigeria is about 6 hours. So I don't know why I was seeing that amount. Nobody told me on time that prices for flights to Nigeria will be so expensive. So yeah, you need to look at the times you're traveling. Are you traveling during the peak period? Also, when you travel during peak periods to countries, you also see that flights are very expensive, hotels are very expensive, everything is just very expensive during that period because they know that that's when people are coming and that's when they tend to make like their gain. So you have to look out for that. If it's really important for you to travel during that period, then good for you. But if it's something that you're not really keen on going during the peak season, you can go during off peak when things are cheaper and not so expensive. So yeah, my next tip is for you to have a budget. Some people do not necessarily have a budget depending on your finance. Guys, I would really advise that you have a budget so you can really track how much you're spending and know like your limit on certain things. Personally, I like to find like a balance between, you know, my budget and trying to have a good time, because guys, whenever I'm traveling, I must, in capital letters, I must enjoy my vacation by fire by force, because guys, I need that vacation. Like, I've tried, so I really see vacation as a reward because this life is not easy. So yes, try to like have a budget and try to make sure that you're not going overboard. I mean, if you can afford it, that's fine, but if you know that you cannot really afford it, try to find like a balance between soft life and then not living under the bridge when you come back from your vacation, because you see that thing of coming back from vacation and looking at your bank account, it's not funny. It's really not funny. So yeah, try to find like a balance between the two, and also try and go to like Google and look out for flights and accommodations so that you can have an idea on how much they cost, so that you can, you know, budget in your head and plan out, you know, and allocate money for different things. Also, in terms of like exchange rate, some countries are cheaper to travel to and some countries are more expensive to travel to. So you also have to consider all this when trying to book a vacation. And it's also cheaper for you to travel with friends. I know most people like to do like solo traveling and, you know, just travel on their own, but it's cheaper for you to travel with friends because then you get to like split hotel bills, transportation bills, even feeding bills, food bills. So it just depends on, you know, if you're able to see people to travel with, or if you want to travel on your own. Then you get to look out for flights to choose like what airline are you using. Are you going to be flying with British Airways, or are you going to be flying with like EasyJet or Ryanair, you know, things like that. You also need to look out for what time of the day you're traveling, because morning prices are not the same as afternoon prices, as well as they're not the same as night prices, so they all differ. And as we all know, or what I know that flights, that when you book flights on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, I think they are cheaper than when you book like Saturday and Friday, because they know that people usually travel during the weekend, so those prices are more expensive and people are coming back on Monday because they have work to go to. So like during the week, flights are usually cheaper during the week than it is during the weekend. Then if you're planning on being like a full-time tourist, you need to look out for activities to do in that particular country. Are you going quad biking? Are you going to do like hot air balloon? Are you going to do like horse riding, camel riding, you know, all of those things? You need to look at Google and see their prices. Or are you just going to be chilling in your hotel and relaxing and enjoying like your all-inclusive holiday kind of thing? You just need to figure all this out with Google, because guys, it's really easy for you to go on Google and just search all these things and have like a plan on how much you want to spend. Once this is done, the next thing for you to do is to choose a travel date. I always advise people to be like flexible in their travel dates, because guys, some days are just cheaper than others. You can just go on Google and then try to book a flight and then choose the flexible date option, and then they show you dates for like 3 days or so. Yes, I think the one I was saying, they show you dates for like 3 days, and they're able to choose the flight which is cheaper, because as I said, we're not trying to spend so much money on vacation, we're also trying to save money at the same time. So yes, you can be flexible with your dates. You can also see different countries and see the countries that are cheaper to go to during that period. That's if you do not have a specific destination in mind. So you can also do this, and with that you can also save cost. The next thing for you to do is to consider choosing an accommodation. So when it comes to accommodation, it depends on what you want. Do you want to have like Airbnb? Do you want to do like Riyadh? Because I know when most people go to Morocco, they usually pay for Riyadh. Do you want Riyadh? Do you want an all-inclusive hotel, or you just want breakfast, or do you want to stay in a hotel? So it all depends on you, and it all depends on your budget. Personally, I would really recommend like all-inclusive hotels, because guys, you do not have to think about your food and your drink, like any of those things. You just know that your feeding is covered. It's going to be all in your hotel bill, which is cheaper. I think it's cheaper though. I think it's cheaper. So everything is in your hotel bill, your feeding and everything. So you have to know what you want. Also, do you want to stay in like places that are closer to the city center, or do you want to stay far away from the city center? So these are things you need to consider. Also, in order to get like good package, you can definitely look out for all these travel packages. For instance, you can use like Love Holiday. Yes, they also have really nice packages on there, so you can check for like travel packages and use the one that is close to your budget and that is cheaper for you. And so after this, the next thing you have to consider is your transportation. You need to think about how you're going to commute when you go to that particular country. Guys, this is so important for you to look at, because not everywhere uses Uber. Like most places do not have like Uber, so you need to check out what they use in that particular city. I remember when I went to Edinburgh last year, it was really hard for me to get Uber when I was in Edinburgh. I don't know if it was just the network or something, but it was really hard to get Uber. Most of the time I used bus while commuting, or I ordered a taxi with the hotel, because it was just easier for them to book, because they had like taxi services and they had their numbers, which I did not have. So you have to look at how you're going to commute. Are you going to be using the bus? Are you going to be using the train? Or are you going to be using cab? Because most of the time using Ubers, or should I say using taxis, are more expensive. So you need to consider all these things when you're looking for a city to travel. I also remember when I went to Blackpool. It's a city here in the UK. Guys, it was so hard for us to get Uber in Blackpool. Like, I don't know why it was so hard, because I was thinking we're in the UK, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it was really hard for us to get Uber in Blackpool. We had to use like it was a different cab service, and also it was so hard for us to book it, because you have to call them and wait for like 30 minutes or 1 hour. Like, guys, commuting in Blackpool was a struggle for us. We didn't even know that would be an issue, because we just assumed we were in the UK and it shouldn't be a problem at all. So you need to look at the country you're going to, what type of transportation are you going to use, because it's so important. Because if you are not really if you do not know much about how you're going to be commuting from one place to another, you're going to really struggle when you go on vacation, because you don't want to be missing out on different things or going late to activities. Guys, you don't want all those kind of stress. So yes, make sure you check out on the type of transportation they use in that particular country, and just try to sort yourself out before you go on your vacation. So my next point is for you to exchange money before traveling. I always try to exchange my money before traveling. I tend to go to like post office or money exchange companies to just exchange my money. I've never actually used the bank to exchange money, but most people use their banks to exchange money. So yeah, you can also do this. I know that most people advise against exchanging money at the airport, because their rate is so not good. So you have to compare the rates and see the one that is better for you. Is it better to use post office, or is it better to use the bank? You have to compare the prices and choose a better deal, because guys, as you know, the title of this video is for us to travel this year, or to travel always without breaking the bank. So you have to try and compare prices and know like the best option for you. Another thing that I would like to add is that if it's not like a last minute trip, I would really advise that you book your holiday like way ahead of time, because guys, it's always cheaper to book like 2 months, 3 months ahead of your intended date than booking 2 weeks to your travel date or 1 week to your travel date. Booking things like flights and accommodation is way more expensive to book when it's closer to your holiday. So try and book like months or 3 months before your travel date. Also, if you're in the UK, it's cheaper for you to travel around Europe, like to go to France, what other countries in Europe? My brain does not seem to be processing right now. But yeah, to go to like France, Germany, Amsterdam, like it's just cheaper for you to go around Europe than for you to go to countries that are farther, because flights to those countries are like £30, £40, £50 a return ticket. So you can see how affordable it is, or how cheap it is to travel around Europe than for you to like travel to places that are not within Europe. So yeah, if you're trying to like, you know, go to more places and explore more cities, I would advise that you start with countries close to you, because it's cheaper. My next tip is for you to check if you need visa to travel. Most times you definitely need visas to travel. I personally almost need visa any country I'm going to, even though I did not need visa when I was going to Montenegro because my BRP was fine. But yes, most of the time you need visas to travel to some countries, whether it is e-visa or you need to, you know, apply for the visas. Also, you need Schengen visa to travel to like countries around Europe if you're not a British citizen. So yes, you need to check if you need visas, and you need to look out for how much you need to pay for those visas. Most of the time, visa, it depends. It varies. You can see like £50, £60 and £100. It just depends on the country you're going to. So make sure you check if you need to pay for visa and how much it's going to cost you. Once this is done and you're ready to travel, you need to look out for activities you want to do in that particular country. Do you want to book online, or do you want to book when you get there and just pay physically? Most of the time people like to go there and book, or go there and pay for the activity, because they tend to bargain the price and just get like a cheaper deal. So you can also look out and see if that's what you want. Some places you have to like make sure that you pay online and make reservations, or else they won't let you in. I know when I went to Edinburgh and I was supposed to visit the castle, the first time I went to visit the castle, they told me that tickets were sold out. Yes, and that was around 2 p.m. So you can see, since I did not buy a ticket online, I couldn't get in because I did not have like a valid ticket. I had to come back the next day. So most of these places that you know that people are rushing to get in, you need to make sure that you have a ticket before going. You need to try and, you know, book your ticket online before going to that particular venue. And also when I went to France, I also made sure that I booked everything online. So places that are in high demand, make sure to book your ticket before going there, just to avoid any stories at all. So yes, once you are done, you know, doing all these things, making sure that you have like the right deal, making sure you booked the affordable flight or the cheaper flights, the next thing for you to do is just to pack your bags and go on your vacation. Make sure you do not forget your travel documents. Make sure you always check that you have like your passport, your visa, if it's an e-visa, good for you. Make sure you check like you have your visa, your BRP, yeah, just make sure you have like a necessary travel document with you before traveling. Also try to get like travel insurance as well. So yeah, we have come to the end of this video. If you have any tips at all, let me know in the comment section down below. It will be really useful in case I missed out anything, or in case you have any opinion to add to the things I've listed here. And yeah guys, I'm going to be seeing you guys in my next video. Do not forget to take care and stay safe, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed by now. Turn on your post notification bell, give this video a massive thumbs up, and yeah guys, I'll be seeing you in my next video. Do not forget to take care and stay safe. Bye.